What do clay, creativity, and burnt toast have in common? They all get interesting when you add heat. Welcome to Kiln, firing up your inspiration, a video about how your passions, when warmed with action, can turn everyday life into something way more vibrant. Again, I'll be drawing inspiration from two books I love, Artful Journey of Pottery and Pottery Florilege. You'll find both of them linked in the video description if you want to explore more. Let's start. Part 1. What's your kiln moment? Every potter knows there's a moment where everything changes. You've shaped your clay. You've dried it slowly. You've sanded the edges. It looks ready, but it's not finished. That's where the kiln comes in. That blast of heat is intense, unpredictable, transformative. It's scary. It's irreversible. And it's essential. That's your kiln moment. We all have one, or need one. That moment when inspiration turns into action. When the thing we've been thinking about finally enters the fire of reality. In Artful Journey of Pottery, Chapter 5 reminds us that firing is more than a technical step. It's a leap of trust. You give your creation to the flame and trust it comes back with a soul. That's powerful, because it's not just about the clay, it's about you, your ideas, your projects, your dreams. How long have they been sitting, half-formed? How many times have you smoothed the surface, waiting for it to be perfect? How often do you hold back from putting it into the fire, just in case it cracks? But nothing becomes real until it's tested, until it's fired, until it faces some heat and survives it. And most of the time, that's where the magic is. Inspiration without action is just a wish. But inspiration plus heat, that's transformation. So, what's your kiln moment? Is it finally sharing your artwork? Starting that business? Applying for that program? Telling your story? It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be real. Because the fire doesn't destroy, it reveals. It brings out what's been forming inside you all along. So take a breath, turn up the heat, and remember, what you're building might just come out with a soul of its own. Part 2. Fuel yaun. Focus equals fire. We often wait around for inspiration to magically strike, like lightning, or like that one perfect idea we think will change everything. But here's the truth. Inspiration needs fuel. And not just any fuel, your attention. Think about it. A kiln doesn't ignite itself. You have to prepare the chamber, load the pieces, set the temperature. You need fuel, control, focus, and then you get fire. The same goes for your creative spark. You might already have the idea. You might already want to write that story, design that project, build that dream. But without focus, without real time and energy devoted to it, your spark won't catch. That's why ritual matters. Small steps, simple actions, a return to the wheel. Even something like Pottery Florilege, a coloring book, can become part of this fuel. It's not just about coloring for fun, it's about showing up, training your brain to slow down, letting your hands move while your thoughts align, creating without pressure so your ideas can breathe. Coloring a beautiful ceramic design might not seem productive, but it's often in those quiet, hands-on moments that your true ideas begin to burn a little brighter. You move from passively wishing to actively shaping. Focus isn't about intensity, it's about intention. It's carving out 10 minutes. It's finishing the thing you started. It's telling the people around you, this matters to me, I'm doing this. When you feed your inspiration with consistency, when you give it your focus, it builds fire. The kind that doesn't just warm you up, it moves you forward. So, what's fueling you right now? Where are you putting your focus? And what fire might be waiting on the other side of your attention? Because when passion meets practice, something powerful happens. That's when you kiln it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. In the comments, tell us, what's one project or dream you've been waiting to fire up? We'd love to hear what you're working on, or what's been simmering in your creative kiln. Let's continue. Part 3. Burnout, but 4, dans 3. U2, passion. We often confuse the feeling of being busy with the feeling of being passionate. After all, passion looks intense. It works late, it dreams big, it goes all in. But if we're not careful, that very intensity can turn on us. Here's the truth. Burnout is not the badge of passion, it's the absence of balance. When a potter fires a piece, the kiln temperature must be just right. Too low, the clay never fully transforms. Too high, the entire piece warps, cracks, or becomes fragile beyond repair. In An Artful Journey of Pottery, Chapter 4 captures this tension beautifully. It suggests that mastery doesn't come from brute force or perfectionism. True mastery comes not from forcing the form, but from knowing when to let it rest. The same goes for us. There's a myth in our culture that says, if you love it, you'll suffer for it. But in reality, if you love it, you'll protect it. You'll care for it, pace yourself, and nourish that passion, not run it into the ground. Think of the most beautiful ceramic pieces you've seen. They aren't created in one non-stop session. They are shaped, dried, fired, and cooled with time, care, and respect for rhythm. So ask yourself, are you creating space to cool down? Are you honoring the pauses between your creative sprints? Or are you holding your work in the kiln so long it starts to crack? Burnout isn't a sign of commitment. It's a sign that your process needs more breath, more boundaries, more humanity. Because when we learn to step back, when we cool, reflect, and restore, our passion has the room to deepen, to root itself not just in urgency, but in purpose. Part 4. Everyday Sparks. Inspiration isn't just for the chosen few. You don't need to be a creative type. You don't need a studio, a title, or a plan. You don't need years of training or some mythic gift handed down by the gods of art. You just need a spark. And that spark? It lives in everyone, in the quiet, in the in-between, in the moments when your hands are busy and your mind is free to wander. That's where Pottery Florilege comes in. It's not just a coloring book, it's a way back to that spark. A page you can sit with, a shape you can bring to life, a moment that's yours without pressure or performance. Because creativity doesn't always explode. Sometimes it hums, sometimes it whispers, sometimes it takes the form of a colored pot on a page that slowly begins to glow with meaning. You're not just filling in lines, you're waking something up. Maybe it's been dormant, maybe it's been discouraged, maybe it's waiting for permission you don't need to ask for. So, light the match, make the thing, try the tool, color the page, turn on the wheel. Let yourself be messy, playful, curious, because whether it's 5 minutes with a coloring pencil or 5 hours shaping clay, it counts. Every spark counts. And when we each light our own little flame, we illuminate each other. One spark leads to another. One idea, one action, one page at a time. There is no right way to begin. There is only this. You already carry the spark. Now, you just have to let it catch. And this marks the end of our video. If this gave you even one spark of energy, like this video, leave a comment and subscribe for more Pottery Meets Mindset content. I'd love to know in the comments, what are you ready to fire up this season? And again, the 2 books I mentioned are linked in the description below, full of warmth, inspiration and clay wisdom. In the next video, we will see how clay and creativity together help us find our sense of flow. Until next time, stay lit, stay grounded, and keep shaping what sets you on fire. Bye.